Kandahar airfield's the staging post for the war in Afghanistan. Hundreds of troops from 28 different nations and thousands of tons of supplies are dropped to the front line every day. The workhorse of the operation is the RAF's C-130 Hercules. It's nicknamed the Fat Albert. The Herc crew fly their missions at night, so at 2 in the afternoon, they're just waking up.
Didn't sleep that well, actually.
They fly at night to protect themselves from enemy fire.
Morning.
Morning.
Where's the afternoon? Something like that, yeah.
This is breakfast.
28-year-old pilot Chris Phillips, better known as Chap, is on his 3rd tour of duty here and knows if his crew want to have a normal breakfast, they have to provide their own.
We never ever make any breakfast times here. We never normally make any of the food times, so we end up sort of supplying ourselves.
First time I came out here, the first week I lost a stone, because just hadn't really discovered how to scrounge food in the right place, sort of thing.
Tonight they're on a mission to drop supplies in Helmand province. First stop, the ops room.
Running is going to be
010.
the army put request in. They need resupply. In this case, water, food, fuel.
Chat, which is your pistol, mate?
Master airloader Paul Neal is in charge of getting all the kit together, including guns and ammo. They have to be ready to defend themselves if it all goes wrong.
Go and get it, yeah.
Next stop's catering. Paul's off to collect the crew's onboard meals. It's his job to keep everything running to schedule.
There's normally little delays, like there should be someone sat there waiting for us. There isn't, obviously. It might sound daft, as you could be delayed for picking up a bunch of sandwiches to delay the flight, but thank you very much. Basically, we got some fruit, some drinks, we get some milk. In there is some interesting cheese and ham. Somewhere in here is fruit juice. It doesn't matter whether we're getting airborne at 1 in the morning or 1 in the afternoon, we get the same rations.
Supplying the troops by road is treacherous. Since 2006, more than 200 civilian and military drivers have been killed when their vehicles were ambushed by the Taliban. So the Hercules is a safer alternative.
Believe it or not, the aircraft has a padlock on it with a key. It might be worth millions of pounds, but it's held security by a key. As in most things military, you have to sign for everything. I wish I got a pound every time I climb the bloody stairs.
Paul's got to make sure the Army Air Dispatch Squadron have loaded the pallets correctly. If a container gets stuck as it goes out the back, it could cause the plane to crash.
You get a slight nervous twinge every time the load's about to go, the green light comes on, the winch operates, and you wait for this load to start moving. Once it starts moving, you know it's going in the right direction. And if it jams, we're in a whole world of poo, basically. Hang on 1 second.
Tonight they're flying 50 miles to Sitting Bull, a combat zone in northern Helmand where ground troops are waiting for fresh water and rations. It's risky. In January 2005, a Herc was shot down by enemy fire, killing 10 airmen.
We have defensive systems to try and protect us from missiles, but there are inherent risks with what we do. That can't be avoided.
Chap, the pilot, always gives his Herc a quick once-over before taking off.
We're just making sure the aircraft is fit to fly, it's safe. The flare settings are correct, that the right flares are in the right positions in case we get engaged by a missile. That's a bit of a habit. I'll sign for her now, accept responsibility for her until we land, and then I sign her back into the engineers.
They're packed up and ready to go, but they've got a hard night ahead of them.
The potential issue is if we drop too far away. There is the risk that the guys, when they go out to pick them up, could take so long, insurgents could actually attack them.
You guys ready in the back?
Ready now, back, yeah.
That's the thing I think crews worry about the most. We want to get them as accurate as possible so there's a minimum issue on the ground picking them up.
Even at 10 in the evening, the runway can be as busy as Gatwick.
Get off the fucking runway. Alright, pause the aircraft gear up, please. Just going to pull back to you a little bit.
Next stop, Sitting Bull. It's 10 p.m. at Kandahar Air Base, a military town in the Afghan desert, home to 10,000 NATO troops who are having a break from the war outside. The cafes and sports facilities are busy with soldiers who are off duty. But 20,000 feet above enemy lines, a Hercules transport plane is on its way to drop 16 tons of food and water rations to the front line.
It is a very good night for gogs. Speaking of gogs, my left eye's just gone. Is that the gogs or is that just your eye? You get to a certain age and things stop working properly then.
Night vision goggles are an essential bit of kit, helping the pilots steer clear of mountains and valleys in the pitch darkness.
Some of these drop zones are very difficult terrain actually. Big wadi areas, very deep. So if you imagine if a one-ton container lands in that, it's a real pain to get it out.
Tonight, there's an added problem, a high wind. Chap uses a navigational aid to help him drop at the right spot. It's called a sonde and is designed to be parachuted out of the plane. As it falls, it sends back data on the wind's speed and direction. But it's not working.
Got nothing on the sondes at all? No. Unfortunately, it's not robust enough yet. It's great when it works, but it doesn't reliably work. Nothing on the sondes again. Well, yeah, turn it off. I'll just try, go through it one more time, but I don't know why it's not working. Just don't get this machine sometimes.
Chap's now going to have to fly lower to make sure his cargo hits the target. As the Herc approaches the drop zone, Chap will bring the plane down to just a few thousand feet. And then open the cargo bay door. Each crate has a parachute attached to a cable. Chap needs to pull up at exactly the right moment, and gravity and wind do the rest.
The Hercules has been tried and tested all the way from the 50s in Vietnam through to today. Although actually quite a simple system, it really does work well. What we're doing now is slowed the aircraft so we can descend quite steeply into the drop.
The drop zone's about the size of 2 football pitches, but when you're flying low at 150 miles an hour in complete darkness, hitting your target takes real skill.
15 seconds. Action stations. Action stations. Red on. Red on. With straight 5 crowbar. Green on. Green on. Green on. Green on. Nice moving. 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 No, it's gone. Red on. Red on. Right on.
Even without the help of the sonde, the containers hit the target area bang on. 16 tons of water and rations dispatched to grateful troops on the front line.
Ramp that door. Roger, clear from the back. Closing.
Now that's impressive.
Throttle, throttle.
Sir,
Check
we are not on
altitude.
purple 2 at this time.
To get out of the enemy's firing range, Chap climbs to 8,000 feet as fast as possible at a sharp angle. It's like being on a roller coaster.
Okay, we're above safety out, gents.
The Herc crew heads back to Kandahar. It's been a hard day's night.
16 loads were loaded and 16 loads came out the back of the aeroplane, and that's what we expected to do, and that's what we did.
We get it wrong sometimes. Maybe the drops aren't quite as close as we'd like them to be, but we are still providing them with something that would cost lives if they got it there by road.
It may be midnight, but the Herc crew want their dinner. The cafes and canteens are all shut, but they've planned ahead and have got 4 cold pizzas standing by on the runway.
For breakfast it was muesli, for lunch it's pizza, and then maybe we'll make breakfast for dinner.
The old Herc's been fitted with some surprising mod cons.
It's a microwave, just like at home.
It's a canteen first, and then occasionally do a bit of flying. He goes, Captain. Thank you very much, co-pilot. Oh, this is not up to my standard. Make it again.
As the Herc crew turn in for the night, the silence is broken. The Taliban have launched an attack on the base. A rocket's landed by the accommodation blocks.
There was a distinctive boom in the distance, sounded a few kilometres off. There was then a distinct whiz, it goes zzz. And then, you know, almost instantaneously there was a huge explosion.
The base is put on high alert. And there's news of people being injured by shrapnel.
I saw a guy crawling right here, and I didn't know it was, I knew he was hit, obviously, and I went over there, and I saw blood all over his pants, so I just started helping him out. Well, I hope he's okay, because by the looks of it, he was going to have a bad day.
It's the new base commander's job to coordinate the response team.
The aim of tonight is to find the people that launched the attack against us and arrest them.
The response team's based at JDOC, the Joint Defence Operations Centre.
Basically landed just about here. So if there's the road, it's just in there. There's 2 Bulgarians that were just up here. They caught some shrapnel, and there's blood all up the glass walls and on the floor around here.
The camp's medical advisor is Kev Mackey. When the airbase comes under attack, he liaises between the commander and the hospital.
If a rocket lands on top of you, you know, that'll basically vaporise you. The biggest damage comes from the shrapnel. These are military munitions designed to kill and maim. It's like being hit by a multiple amount of bullets. So if you're in the vicinity, you can be, you know, quite seriously injured.
Kev's heading for the hospital.
Initial reports don't sound that there's too many casualties, but we know from experience that initial reporting can be confusing. So I'm going in hoping that nobody's, God forbid, being killed, and that the injuries are relatively minor. So we'll go and see what they say.
The military police are patrolling the camp.
Guys, do me a favour, if you've got the lids on, all right, you need to put them on. Thank you.
Even the police chief, John Hipkins, is making sure everyone's wearing their body armour.
I obviously can't go into too many details, but it is a relatively regular occurrence here. It's probably not quite as bad as it is in Iraq. But it's an area weapon, you know, you don't know where they're going to come in, when they're going to come in, and it's really pot luck.
The response team has scrambled US Banshee helicopters to hunt down the perpetrators.
The helicopters have tracked 3 vehicles from roughly the point at which the rockets were launched. We don't know whether there are people inside those vehicles, whether people are responsible.
The 3 suspect vehicles are heading for Morgan Ketcher, a village 7 miles away that's a known trouble spot. US Marines in the Banshees are pursuing them, supported on the ground by the RAF Regiment. Sergeant Bennett Jones and his lads from A-Flight are on a routine patrol. They've just been told about the rocket attack on the base.
Give me a flare quickly.
Jonesy needs to signal his men to regroup. They could be called on any minute to join the chase.
That's not incoming, mate.
Their mates in B-Flight are outside the wire too. They've spotted a suspect vehicle and get straight on the radio to report it back to JDOC.
I've got eyes on the vehicles. I want to engage it with the 50s. Can they over? Roger, wait.
B-flight, I've got eyes on a wagon coming away from the point of origin site, which is where the rocket was launched from. Basically, they're getting permission to fire on that wagon, but they've got to wait for it.
Fucking 6 were up on the net, man. It's good. We've got eyes on the vehicle.
Roger, have you got description of the vehicle?
Fucking shoot it!
Oh, mate.
Under the rules of engagement, JDOC needs to be convinced they're not giving the order to fire on innocent civilians. By the time they're told they've got the right men, B-Flight's lost sight of the vehicles.
However, we have now lost them over.
Oh, fuck off.
Roger. We are tracking on J-Lens and Eagle Assault are aware over.
Back at JDOC, the chase is still on.
They saw the firing, they PID'd the vehicles, they lost PID of the vehicles. They were in 50 cal range, but you know, by the time I said, you know, by the time we clarified whether they had POD or not, and they got 290, they were outside of range. They still got them on J-Lens.
The J-Lens is an advanced camera that's set up in a secret location on the base. It can see miles into the distance, even in the pitch black. This means the commanders can literally watch the action from 7 miles away.
Now got oversight over the area of operations. The village is the light grey piece at the bottom there. The aircraft, which is the black dot you can see, which is now tracking. It's great. This is NATO in action at the cutting edge. It's really good stuff.
The vehicles have been tracked to 3 different houses in the village. 2 have been searched and given the all clear, but there's still 1 house to go.
If we can focus to that compound, we're in a world of happiness, all right? It's precisely what we're trying to do is cue them onto something specific.
The search in the village continues, and Mark closely follows their progress.
We've now got bucket loads of troops going into there. You know, it's a picture that they don't want to occur in their village. The local Afghanis don't want anything to do with these people. All they bring is bad news.
The base is still on full alert, and policeman John Hipkins is still on patrol.
Good. Fellas, do me a favour. Don't be standing there or sitting there in the middle of the rocket attack alarm. For some obscure reason, it's always your hut, OK? You need to go and find yourself a blast wall, please. Thank you very much. And if you've got your lids, you've got your body armour, they need to be on your body. Good timing. And another rocket attack down.
In the village, the hunt's over.
The final compound we searched was the one to the south. 4 males associated with the activity at the point of origin. All have been biometrically scanned. That record will be held by us now.
Unfortunately, there wasn't enough evidence to arrest them.
That's as good as it gets without finding somebody. And next time.
The rockets left a hole only a couple of inches deep, but it's the shrapnel that's deadly. Kev's just been to see the 2 Bulgarian soldiers who've been hurt.
The injuries are requiring surgery, so the guys will have to be medevaced out of here at some point. You know, that's the end of their war, if you like, and the start of the rehab, the long rehab back. 2 casualties when there's been a direct rocket attack quite near to accommodation. That's, you know, somebody's on our side, I think.
Last night on Kandahar Air Base, there was a rocket attack. The 2 Bulgarian soldiers who were injured are being flown home. Before the rocket hit, the base commander, Andy Fryer, was chatting to his family over the internet.
Although my wife was aware that Kandahar does take the occasional rocket attack, I'd really downplayed it and I hadn't told the children at all. I was talking to them and we had an attack, and despite having decided not to tell them about it, it was really a bit difficult when the siren's going off in the background, and of course
I suddenly dropped to the floor, but they're left wondering what on earth's going on. There was an enormous bang as well, because the rocket landed relatively close to where I was. Even though it's not nice to know that your husband or your father is in a situation like that, I think it's better than not knowing.
Andy's in charge of protecting everyone on base. His predecessors made sure there were concrete blast walls between all the buildings to protect people from shrapnel injuries. And now Andy wants to make sure the temporary accommodation tents are safer.
Oh yes, absolutely, yes.
The first one's just been finished, so he's come to have a look.
Well, this is a big improvement.
It's not ideal, but the pens will give the soldiers some protection from shrapnel.
Well, as you can see, we've got the new walls here, which are essentially plywood with sand filling them. Each of these boxes will house 10 people. Really, they're very well protected in here, unless they're unlucky enough to get a rocket into this box. So if we had a rocket attack on this tent now, for example, instead of there being 100 people who are at risk from the frag, then actually we'd be down to a maximum of 10.
Kev Mackey, NATO's medical advisor on the base, is off to visit the hospital to carry out an inspection.
The main two strands of my job is firstly to make sure that the soldiers here who do get injured get the best quality of care. The second part of my job is preventive medicine, and that really is just making sure that the soldiers don't get poorly because of some oversight on our part, whether that be with the food or the water.
Kev's been in the medical profession for 25 years.
I'm a nurse, registered nurse. Joined the Air Force in 1990, and I'd worked out in Civvy Street before that. Obviously, my clinical background is brought to the fore here when I've got to give advice on various things.
Pretty good, sir.
Yeah, you're busy?
Good. Yeah, reasonably.
Yeah, you just had somebody in, I gather, so...
Yeah, we had another Afghan with a car accident that we're taking care of.
Oh, car accident, oh, blimey. And if I tell you the moment when I decided to be a nurse, that's galvanised the rest of my life, really. And I was 14. My father was taken into hospital with a suspected heart attack. I saw my dad strapped up to these wires. Didn't really know what to think, my dad being a real hero of mine. And I can still vividly remember this. This doctor came out of coronary care, spoke to me and Mum, but he looked me in the eye and said, "Your father's going to be okay. And now come in and see him, just be his son." And I went in to see Dad. I said, "Who's that man?" And he said, "That's the nurse." You know, it shaped everything else I did.
Okay, sweetie.
I guess it is a calling. You couldn't say it was anything else. I'm Kevin Mackey, the medical advisor.
Lieutenant Tim Lund. I'm one of
How do you do, Tim?
operating organizers.
And when I retire from the Air Force, I want to go back and work as an old staff nurse in coronary care or something, just to keep my hand in.
Today, Kev's planning to do something a bit different. It means leaving the base for the first time.
This morning we're off to a little village to the south of here to do what they call medical outreach. It means going outside the wire there, so I've got to take a few bits of kit with it I wouldn't normally be getting ready. So the manky bananas go in there, and probably be even mankier by the time I get to eat them. I filled my Camelback this morning, first time I've had to use it.
And something nurses normally wouldn't carry, an SA-80 5.56mm rifle.
Hopefully won't have to use it, but if I do, I've got 120 rounds of ammunition. I'm quite excited to be going out and seeing the real Afghanistan. I'm a bit nervous, obviously got a wife and family at home. I don't want to put myself in any danger, but the amount of guys I'm taking with me from a force protection angle, if I have to fire this weapon, we're in serious stuck.
Kevin and the medical team are going to be looked after by the RAF Regiment, led by squadron leader Nick Vrumans.
We're doing this thing for the first time. We're taking out some people who've been kind enough to come out with us and do some medical work with these people.
Nick is an Aussie. He's an attachment from the Australian Air Force.
I just want you to relax with it today. There could be some screw arounds because we want to change things. We're not quite sure how we want it to work.
Jonesy's his number 2.
Okay, the main one we're concentrating on today is it's quite well off village, quite well populated.
They're actually doing quite well there at the moment. Me and the squadron leader went there last time. We did a drop-off with some aid for them, and they were quite happy there, weren't they? There was one in the south that was a bit anti, we didn't like. Afraid, stop laughing.
Any trip outside the wire is dangerous, but the regiment will always put their own safety second.
When it comes to close personal protection, if something does happen, we'll grab the medics and we'll do close personal protection for you guys, all right? Whilst these guys are getting on with, dealing with what they're supposed to be dealing with. Try not to shoot you in the back.
Kev's taking a doctor with him to help treat the Afghans, who's not what they might expect.
I'm taking the delightful French doctor, Dr. Elena Kerun, and her driver, Nicolas. So if we come across any ladies in the village that want to have a chat with a doctor, we've got a female doctor and a female escort, and that's possibly more palatable than just a load of hairy blokes going in there.
Good day. Yeah.
The medical team is put into separate vehicles.
Yeah, I think so.
Each of them has at least 3 regiment soldiers for protection. Elena's with young gunner Nathan Choules, and he doesn't look too unhappy about it.
All right.
On the journey, the regiment will be looking out for roadside bombs and suicide bombers.
I'm quite confident in their drills. The bad guys trying to, change the way they do business. They're employing motorcycles. They'll be packed with explosives. But the guys keep an eye out for that. If they see a motorbike on the road, they'll just try and not allow it anywhere near us.
Medical advisor Kev Mackey has left the security of Kandahar Air Base to bring aid to a local village. He's got the RAF regiment watching his back.
I've got immense faith in the guys that are taking us out there, so I think my job is to just lay low and just listen and hear what's going on around me.
It's a hot and dusty journey.
Standing up on the top there, and it was taking most of my effort to actually keep balanced without falling back into the Land Rover. So it was good fun.
Kev has brought French doctor Elena Kerun to treat any sick villagers.
Seems to have many chickens.
Yeah. See, they put the tape around because the locals won't come inside unless they're invited. And it'll be good for you because it means you won't be mobbed. You can have one person at a time, have an interpreter with you.
The interpreter's sent to meet the village elders to find out if they'd like their people to see Dr. Elena. And they jump at the chance.
Okay. This is Doctor? Doctor?
Elena.
Elena. Okay. This is the head man. He's got kids lined up first, right, and then we'll look at some women later on. And there's a few other men here that need looking at as well.
Okay.
Dr. Elena's brought a trunk full of medical supplies, and she's going to need it.
Elena's sort of leapt in there and is doing the doctor thing.
The average life expectancy of an Afghan is 42 years. And the child mortality rate here is one of the highest in the world.
Just taking a note of their names, what she's done for them and what the ailments are, so that we can keep records for that for the future.
1 in 5 Afghan children die before their 5th birthday.
Sad to see 16, 18 months old, half the size he should be. And just for the want of a bit of, simple nutrition, he could be running around with the other kids, I guess.
What's up?
Come back.
What?
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and copy it. Everything you say.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Oi. Pop a cocky though, they'll always push it.
And it is sad, and this is multiplied hundreds and thousands of times. We could go to every village and see children just like him.
Afghanistan has also got one of the highest rates of preventable blindness. Elena's next little patient has got an eye infection.
He has this for a long time, since his birth, a disease caused by flies, and because of problem to clean the face. And so many people have this disease, and they should wash their hands, have proper water, but it's very difficult here. It's a big problem in the country.
We've just given him some antibacterial drugs today and some eye drops, and he could be, better in a week. That's really quite good.
And the RAF regiment lads feel it's worthwhile too.
If you can help, can't you? That's all right.
I think it's good doing all the med stuff and the aids and that.
Can I see the knee?
A village elder wants his leg checked. But he can't believe his eyes as he comes face to face with a woman doctor.
He asked,
yes?
She is a girl or boy? I said she is a girl.
Yes, I'm a girl.
Because he have a problem with it.
Oh, okay.
This
Yes.
is the main problem.
Okay. Yes, I'm a woman.
As a khazama.
French woman.
Yeah, you are small, but other people is big.
No, I'm big.
Now she's treated the men of the village, Elena can visit the women.
Because of the sensitivity of treating ladies in this culture, we've assembled them in a hut over the road there, and Elena's going to go and just have a quick word with them, see if there's any, common ailments.
This trip isn't just about helping the people of Afghanistan, it's about winning them over.
If that means tomorrow they see some bad guys coming through and setting some stuff up to, launch an attack, and they tell us because they see us as being the good guys, then, as far as I'm concerned, that's a positive outcome.
The village women gave Elena as warm a welcome as the men.
It was well. But it should be great to do it more often.
Then the RAF regiment lads give the children an extra treat.
We're giving them some sweets.
Just throw them. Throw them.
We'll talk when we get back. Things happen if you wait around too long. Okay? So we'll see you when we get back.
Okay, good work.
Okay.
Nice one.
Bye-bye.
The convoy heads back to base, and Kev's pretty pleased with his first trip into the real Afghanistan.
That was a success. We got straight out there, got the village elder on side, and we saw about 16 patients throughout the whole thing, so that was pretty good.
Elena, thank you very much for coming out. It was very successful. Thank you very much. That was really good. Now, if you're back in Australia now, we go and have a beer, okay? We go straight to have a beer because that was great.
We gave some very, very simple medications that you can mostly buy over the counter, really, in the UK.
This is the fastest, most powerful helicopter in Afghanistan. The RAF's Chinook. It's the lifeline to troops in the combat zone, dropping supplies and moving soldiers 24/7. It's built to cope with Arctic and desert conditions, and its pilots need to be able to handle any terrain. The Chinook's twin rotor blades produce a massive downwash. No other aircraft creates a dust cloud that's larger or denser. This is what they call a brownout. And pilot Chris Gent's got to perfect the technique before he's allowed out on a mission.
K7 and pistol 11, please. Cheers. We tend to make a habit of taking the weapons whenever we get airborne, because we could be diverted away from the airfield for some reason. Probably not today, but it's just we do it every time, just as a habit.
Landing in a brownout takes nerves of steel, as instructor Steve Badham knows all too well.
The problem we have is that will completely obscure the picture, and we rely solely on a visual picture to land the aircraft out here. So if we lose that picture, then we have to abort the landing.
And that could mean the difference between life and death for troops waiting on the ground.
Looking forward to it. Should be quite good fun. It's just waiting for the instructor for the rest of the crew to get themselves ready, and then we'll be good to go.
Just go straight out and helicopter. What we do, I'd quite like to have a look at the area of the park, so if
They need to find the right patch of desert to land in.
just beyond there, there's that little triangle, which I reckon will be quite dusty, quite good.
Chris's crewman will be counting him down for the landing.
So the crewman is telling you where the dust is on the way down the approach, and then if you do it right, you brown out for the minimum amount of time.
It is difficult. It's a skill that takes a while to master.
Blinded by the dust, Chris lands with a bump, bashing the helicopter.
It's possible to damage the aircraft, but the main risk is ripping off wheels.
The final stage is quite quick. You can afford to make the angle probably slightly shallower, so you won't kind of hit the back wheels quite so hard. Okay.
It's all about approaching the ground at the right angle, and practice makes perfect.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Half wheels, front wheels. Yeah, just look at the angle again, do another one. Roger.
So we're just going to keep doing it again and again just to practice the techniques.
We ended up quite steep again towards them, whereas you almost want to try and achieve a constant angle on the way down.
Finally, Chris gets the hang of it. Keeping the dust cloud behind him, he's got visibility to the last possible moment.
Yeah, the approach angle was much nicer. Yeah, that's a bit better now.
He's cracked it.
I think we might just call it a day.
One more pilot, ready for action.
Yeah, good fun. Really enjoyed it. Definitely got a lot from it. It's good to actually practice it for real, out in rather than in the simulator, out on the proper bit of dusty ground.
All that fine dust can play havoc with a helicopter. Engineers like Paul Gormanley have to get it serviced and cleaned up. It's a thankless job, and dirty too.
We get a lot of stick in the mess from all these officer types who sit in an office all day and they just can't understand. I don't think they even know we exist. As far as I think they're concerned, little pixies come out and fix the helicopters and then the aircrew go and save the world.
It's not the most dangerous job in Afghanistan, but working on a 20-foot helicopter has its risks.
All the blades leak oil, so everything's like an ice rink, so the chances of falling off are fucking dreadful. The lad I replaced, he fell off and broke his leg, so he owes me a few beers because I came out 3 weeks early to replace him.
Chinooks have a punishing schedule in harsh conditions, so the checks have to be thorough.
You've got a cooling fan in here, so if anything's falling in, it could be quite fatal to the aircraft. It's dead birds. Dead birds tend to end up in there quite a lot, so anything that we've hit on flight, really. And that is about it in there.
The Chinook is an easy target for the Taliban.
Checking the blades for any damage. They do tend to get shot quite a lot because they're doing a lot of rotations. When people fire up, normally the blades take the damage, but you wouldn't want any bullet holes in them too often. But I'd say, as far as it goes, it's enjoyable sometimes. It's like any job, really. Hit or miss, I suppose.
The RAF has a fleet of just 8 Chinooks based here. But every 3 months, one of them needs to be sent back to the UK for a complete overhaul. A fully serviced Chinook's then sent out to replace it. At RAF Brize Norton in Oxfordshire, they're expecting an important passenger. A stripped-down Chinook. And it's going to be fitted inside this C-17 Globemaster. Flying 4,000 miles to Afghanistan would seriously reduce the helicopter's engine life. So, it's hitching a ride.
We have to break it down in a small enough size to be swallowed up by the C-17. And we need to get the helicopter there as quick as we can to ensure it gets rebuilt and does its job.
Next stop, Kandahar, where it's up to the RAF engineers to fit it back together again. 12 miles from Kandahar Air Base is Kandahar, Afghanistan's second largest city, and where a suicide bomb has gone off next to government buildings. News has just reached the camp, triggering the mass casualty alarm. So the hospital's on high alert. Medical advisor Kev Mackey has to coordinate the hospital's emergency plan.
Initial reports were 300 casualties. With the best will in the world, that's going to swamp the local medical resources. We're the most capable hospital in the area, and so we've got to be ready to take the worst casualties. Are you medical? Are you medical? No, you need to get out of here very quickly. Go! Worst case is we just get car after car after car of stuff in.
And the security team at the entry gates are going to have to be on their guard.
The way that drivers' behavior is when they have casualties within their vehicles can be a little erratic sometimes. Erratic driving behavior is one of the things we look for as a threat indicator as well. People approach the gate at a relatively high speed. They may not necessarily comply with direction, and that's a problem in terms of how we treat the vehicle.
Medics from 20 different countries stationed at Kandahar have turned up to help.
Where are your guys?
I got 4 here along some of our been sent away, and I got 10 Americans around the corner.
Okay.
I'm only going to pick them up if we really need them.
Okay.
There's no shortage of volunteers.
It's a big response here. We've got far too many people on the ground. When you've got too many people, it's like you just say, you, go home, thank you very much. Whereas if you've only got one person on your own, it's a very lonely experience. So I'd rather be swamped and stand them down than have too few people.
He's got to make sure the right people are in the right place.
Masses and masses of manpower. Oh, OK. Are they stretcher bearers or medics?
No, we've got dentists, we've got medics.
OK, if you've got too many, send them over to the stretcher bearer facility, and we'll get them allocated out from there.
But so far, there's no sign of casualties.
We're still in a wait out, okay?
That's really good news. That means there's no casualties coming into us at the moment. The recent intelligence is that there's probably 55 injured, 15 killed. A lot of the guys have been taken up to local medical facilities.
The airbase has been stood down.
You are slightly relieved, but actually part of you is when the adrenaline's been pumped up and you're ready to go, it's a bit of an anticlimax, really. Yeah. That's it, done.
Okay.
Finished.
Okay.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you all for your swift professional response.
It's midnight, and the RAF engineers have just had a delivery from the UK. The workhorse of the war in Afghanistan, the Chinook, and it's in bits.
If anybody sees anything ahead of time, just shout stop.
It needs to be put together fast because they're one Chinook down. Gaz is new to the job.
My whole point of being here on Chinooks is for experience before I go on to further training, so I'm looking forward, start to learn.
His first big challenge is to get the helicopter out of the C-17 Globemaster.
A bit nervous because potentially we're lifting quite expensive, heavy equipment. It's going to be winched out. I'm going to look forward just to make sure that forward's clearing the ramp area. We're just going to winch it out nice and carefully.
All the Chinook's parts are stored in its body. It's a bit like laying out all the parts for a giant Airfix model, and Maz is the man in charge.
When they break them down in the UK, they just put it all on board, ship it over here, and then we unload it, and then systematically fit it, really.
The major jobs are to fit the two huge turrets onto the front and back. These house the gearboxes and drive shafts which transfer the power from the engines up to the rotor heads that turn the 6 blades. The engineers have got to get it right, because these are what steer and manoeuvre the bulky Chinook, giving it stability and its phenomenal lifting power.
Nice and slow, nice and slow.
Each blade is 25 feet long, so it takes the whole team just to lift one.
Okay, furthest one away.
Outside, the temperatures drop to an icy -9 degrees.
Once you get going and you've got your clothing on, it's not too bad, but it's cold. Eugene, just keep an eye on that flange at the back, bud. 1, 2, 3, push.
Not too much. That'll do.
Not too fast.
Now everything's unloaded, they need to attach the blades. But there's a problem.
Unfortunately, we don't have a crane as of yet. The army guys are using it down the other end of the airfield, and they have priority over us. So unfortunately, we have to wait, which is frustrating for us guys because we're trying to get this rebuilt and get it flying, really. So we just have to wait out for the army.
Time for a cuppa.
Do you want anything else in this?
And the lads are quite particular about how they like their brew.
You're a Yorkshireman that puts milk in with his tea bag. How's that work?
I'm going to get slagged off, but I do mix. I put the milk in with the tea bag because.
Don't say your milk is a constant.
The milk is a constant. Your tea bag, you brew it to how you like it. Your milk is your constant.
That's total rubbish, isn't it?
And no one's ever complained. It's a cup of tea, not a cup of milky tea.
Leaving them to argue, Maz ducks out to sort out domestic chores.
It's quiet because we seem to be the only section at work, really. There's a few local contractors that work at night, but for the most, it seems to be we're the only ones on the flight line working.
After 2 months in Kandahar, he's got just 2 days left before he goes home.
I miss my family. My brother's just had a little baby, Oliver, so I miss him. Miss my girlfriend. It's been, since we've been together, this is the first time I've been away from her. But I'm looking forward to getting home and seeing them all. It's been hard. Unfortunately, there's nothing to break it up. It's 12 on, 12 off for 2 months. So it's Groundhog Day.
Kandahar airfield is the gateway to the war in Afghanistan. And every month, at least 12 British journalists pass through on their way to the combat zone. Tristan Nichols writes for the Plymouth Herald.
Hold up, one looking over the shoulder.
He's been embedded with 4-2 Commando in Helmand for the last 2 weeks.
It is difficult doing your job over here. There's no 9 to 5 anyway in journalism, but there's definitely no 9 to 5 over here. It's been all about living, breathing, working with the Marines, going out on operations and actually seeing firsthand how they do it, which is quite staggering, to be quite honest.
During his time on the front line, Tristan kept a video blog.
I've joined them walking in their footsteps, just in case of any IED threat or anything like that. It's been quite a day. Quite a day. I think I've been accepted by them. Certainly when the banter starts, you know that kind of you're on the right road, and you've just got to keep up with it. I think it's largely how they keep themselves going, is just by laughing and joking all the time.
Tristan's hiding. The enemy are coming and he's hidden under some duvets in a back room because he's a little bit scared.
It's pretty full on. Just makes you realise this isn't a training exercise. This is very real. Very real. The insurgents actually targeted us while we were in a compound. And there were bullets flying over our heads with AK-47s, and they also threw an anti-tank missile at us. I mean, it's fascinating watching it unfold. You know, very well planned. Everyone came back uninjured. You're constantly on the go, and I think by the time I get back to the UK, I'll be ready to fall over, I think.
Back in the Kandahar press office, Tristan prepares to go home.
It's been an awesome trip. I've been here for 2.5 weeks, but I think it's going to take at least 2.5 weeks for me to get back to normal, really. Beginning to kind of question what normal is. I think a car horn is going to freak me out initially.
In the middle of the camp is the boardwalk. It's where the soldiers come to relax after they've been on the front line. One of the top attractions was Burger King. They were knocking out up to 1,000 burgers a day. But 4 months ago, a kitchen fire put it out of action.
They're closed. Man, that's so disappointing. It's the highlight of Kandahar.
Manager Jaffrey's had a nightmare trying to get it up and running again after countless setbacks.
Having the technical problems like this in the middle, it reminds me that we are in the middle of the desert, and we're operating in normal circumstances in a civilized city.
Finally, he's got everything working. But before it can open for business, medical advisor Kev Mackey needs to check on cleanliness. So he's brought in the US military health inspector.
If the troops pick up a nasty bug, and that's multiplied by 500 people going there for their evening meal, that's 500 soldiers down. So it's really important that we don't poison our own troops just by poor hygiene standards and poor food handling.
It's a nail-biting time for Jaffrey.
It's a little bit nervous feeling because always the new equipment and everything, you never know what can work, what will not.
They've gone through the burger van with a fine-tooth comb.
Walk-in bulk freezers, these are Regiment freezers, are all standard below.
Yeah.
And Kev's a real stickler for detail.
Let's talk to...
It's make or break time.
All overall is outstanding. The facility meets proper food safety requirements as per the instruction. Food safety establishment is prepared to open. So you go ahead and
appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's nice.
Sir, it's all set.
Hey, nice one, nice one. Okay.
Relieved and very excited because we've been waiting for this for a very long time.
It's hamburger heaven for the soldiers back from the fighting.
It's a luxury thing, to be honest. Coming back to this is like proper.
And Kev's confident they won't be poisoned.
I wouldn't have opened it, I wouldn't have sanctioned it being opened if I was unhappy with the standard inside.
But just to make sure the food is really, really safe.
Well, I guess the proof of the pudding's in the eating, isn't it? Do you know what? I could be in the high street back home.
Kandahar Airfield, a military base with over 10,000 troops, all living slap bang in the middle of a baking hot desert. The camp uses 1 million gallons of water a day, and it comes from an underground spring beneath this water plant. Kev Mackey is the medical advisor on the base, and he has to make sure the water's safe to drink.
Morning, Sonny.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hey, good, Kevin, how are you?
Okay.
American contractor Sonny is the head man at the water plant.
This is coming straight up from the well, isn't it?
Yeah, this is sample point 1. This is where it's feeding into the Roku system.
How far down is this one?
Our wells run anywhere from about 200 to anywhere up to, I think, 700-800 feet.
All right, okay. We'll run a bit off. This is just like taking a midstream off an elephant, I think.
Very small elephant.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
The well mortar is purified by forcing it through a membrane which catches any of those nasty bits. It's called reverse osmosis.
This is the finished product that goes into all of the taps. You could drink this out of here now. Yeah, it's fine. We'll get that one labelled up and sent off for sampling. It's very clear. It's good quality water, that.
In case the plant goes down, there's 1 million gallons of water stored in these giant rubber bladders. And if one springs a leak, there's a simple solution.
Just sticks, wooden sticks, pushed into the bladder. And this is going back to the old marine days when they found that if you put wood into a hole in a boat, then that wood expands and then it just blocks up the holes.
Kev and Sonny also run the Wastewater plant. It's the size of 9 Olympic swimming pools, and it stinks.
This is the famous poo pond. It was originally designed and put in by the Russians 20 years ago. Taliban's ran them for a little while, but we don't think they knew much about wastewater. Might have a few tanks in there, maybe some heads, Humvees, whatever they have, airplanes. We don't know what they put in here.
The population in Kandahar has trebled since the poo pond was built, and the system's struggling to cope.
500,000 gallons of raw sewage coming in here, 24 hours every day, 365 days a year.
And there's one day in particular that goes down in history.
Apparently there was a bet and there were some people who were drinking and they decided they would go for a swim across the poo pond. Yeah, there has been people that have been silly enough, I guess, to go swimming in a pond of shit. Kind of ridiculous, if you ask me.
Work's due to start on a state-of-the-art sewage plant, and the old poo pond is going to be dried out and filled in.
We're going to take care of this infamous pond, and it was my goal from the day I got over here. That's the reason I came over here, was this pond. So, darling, if you see me, now you know why I'm here.
The RAF Regiment guards the airfield against being attacked. The Taliban regularly rocket the base and bury bombs and mines under the road. In the last year, 2 RAF Regiment soldiers have been killed and 5 have been wounded when their vehicles went over explosive devices. There would have been many more casualties if it weren't for the lads in the mortar pits back at the base. Their job is to spot the Taliban from miles away with this bit of kit.
What we operate from here is the M-Star. It's basically a radar. We're scanning out to 12 kilometres, and what it basically does, it picks up men, wheeled or tracked vehicles in that area. And all we're simply doing is we're plotting them on tracers, and it builds up an accurate picture of all movement in that area. For us, it's proving to be quite an invaluable piece of kit.
And if the regiment comes under attack, they can use the 81mm mortars. Corporal Hammond calls the shots.
Leon, X-ray 1-4!
Rate 2 rounds fire!
They can fire out high explosives that hit targets up to 3 miles away. The lads also set off illumination rounds to expose the enemy for the soldiers on patrol.
Once it actually pops, it's equivalent to 1 million candlewatt power. So 2 barrels or 3 barrels firing on it, we can light up a complete battlefield.
The lads live in harsh conditions.
This is their sleeping area. It's not very pretty, but that's where they sleep. And basically what we do, we stay here for 7 days, 24 hours a day, pretty much minging it out.
And they have to share their beds with some unwelcome guests.
It's infested with mice. So the lads have got a bit of pastime, and that's setting up as many mouse traps as they can possible. What they've done is set up a little graveyard. This is the graveyard for Mr. Jingles and his family. We've got 3 confirmed kills at the moment, and hopefully we're going to be getting a lot more. We've actually got a pet snake, which keeps appearing, but the snakes do seem to keep the mice at bay.
But the least welcome visitor is the camel spider, which can give you a nasty bite.
The biggest ones we've seen are like pretty much the size of your hand. You'll know when someone finds one because you just see them running a mile.
But guess who's coming to the rescue? It's Kev Mackey. He not only sorts out burgers, sewage, water and medical emergencies.
Hi guys.
But he's also in charge of pest control.
You must be Corporal Hammond?
Yeah, sir.
Known as Hammer, I guess?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good to see you. Now then, I hear on the grapevine that you might be a little shy of the old creepy crawlies.
Yeah, petrified of them.
Yeah.
Kev's got a contract killer on the job.
And what we're looking for is we're looking for those areas that they might be hiding. Anytime that we see cracks like this, we're going to be looking in those areas because they're going to stay inside these where they're sheltered.
These planks aren't butted up to each other,
No,
are they? So
no.
There's quite a few gaps in there.
And this hitman's poison will kill off any pests.
I guess at this point we'll hand it back to you, Hammer.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that.
Sleep safe in your bed tonight or in your mortar pit tonight.
4-2 Commando have a base at Kandahar. They come here to relax for a few days after doing 5-week stretches in Helmand.
We've got a couple of the accommodation tents that the lads have been sort of staying in. Recently we've just had this HESCO wall been put up round about them just to protect the tents a bit more from any potential rocket attacks that come in. They're air conditioned as well and heating, so it's not too bad.
The lads are fully armed when they're out in the combat zone, and Ollie's in charge of the tools of the trade.
We've got our weapons here, we've got our rifles, we've got support weapons, we've got pistols as well, which every man also takes out with them. We've also got bayonets as well, which, you know, last resort, you don't really want to be affixing your bayonet when you're going into a compound, but, you know, sometimes that has to happen. But we keep them in here, make sure they're clean.
Kandahar's home to the RAF and the Army, but it's the Navy Marines who think they're top dog.
Being over here at the moment with some Army ranks, and there's a lot of friendly banter between the two services. And obviously being in the Marines, we are far superior. And I think, you know, they tend to get a little bit embarrassed by the fact. But it's all good humour. And as I say, Army does stand for ain't ready for Marines yet, so enough said.
Under the cover of darkness, hardman Ollie has sneaked away to indulge his secret passion.
Tonight I'm going salsa dancing because so I'm getting married in August next year, so I'm trying to learn some dance moves so my missus and I can do something a bit more interesting for the first dance than a regular slow sort of waltz, but we'll see what happens, you know. But it's a good wee place to come to in the evenings, bit of downtime really from working all day. We've got some coffee shops and all sorts of things, so it's pretty good. I just slide in between you guys.
1, 2, 5, 6 feet.
This salsa class is run by the Americans, twice a week.
It is a bit strange to have salsa lessons in the middle of the desert, but it's also strange to have a Pizza Hut and a Subway.
Ollie's not happy with his progress.
I've had about 6 lessons, but it looks as if I've had about 2 or 3.
But his dance partner isn't complaining.
Well, he certainly likes to shake his ass about, but he's trying, he's doing really well, he's picked up moves really, really quickly as well.
It's early morning at the airbase, and the Chinook engineers have finally got the crane they needed.
Are we ready to rock and roll?
Now they can get on with the job of putting the helicopter back together. Maz is the boss man. First job, getting the turrets on. This will take the power up to the blades.
It's just a slow process really, because if you rush it, you'll just damage the airframe, and we don't really want that. Come on, tell them to get a jib on. We all know that the bigger picture is getting the Chinook serviceable so the guys in the field can get their ammunition, they can get their food, their water. Everybody here knows that. Coming up!
Next, the rotor heads that hold the blades.
Coming in!
It's all down to teamwork.
The main thing really is good communication between us and the guys on the airframe. Coming down! Right now we're just about to fit the blades onto the aircraft. It's like the final chapter. The guys are just up there now getting it prepared, ready to go.
The 25-foot blades are put into position with a high-tech bit of kit.
It's it!
A good end to Maz's last day in Kandahar.
Yeah, sure. That's my first. Gaz has had two.
I deserved it. I was there actually grafting. So.
And what, and I was down here?
Yeah.
Work hard, you play hard, really, don't you? It's customary to buy donuts when you leave, but I'm not buying any. Sorry.
When are you doing?
Tomorrow.
You're going into shift?
Yeah, but there's 15 of us leaving. So that means there's going to be 15 boxes of donuts.
That's got 2 in.
So that's going to be 16 boxes of donuts. That's like 200 donuts.
They'll go.
I bet they will.
It's now over to the pilots to put the engineers' work to the test. Maz makes a few last-minute safety checks before it's clear to fly.
All the components work as they should have done, no leaks, so we're all good to go. Brilliant. Here she goes now. It looks good. Does look good.
And another Chinook's ready for the combat zone. The British troops are getting ready for a very important day in the calendar. The 7th Remembrance Sunday since NATO arrived in Afghanistan. The Royal Marines, the RAF and the Army assemble at the camp's boardwalk.
We know we're very close here to parts of this country where people are putting their lives at risk every single day. So we remember them and think of them as we'll be here in this service.
Base Commander Andy Fryer is leading the ceremony.
It is very important. It's important back in the UK, but I think it's even more so here, and to reflect on what's gone before in a place like this, in the midst of a live operation. I think it's hugely important.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, or the years condemn. The going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
NATO troops have been in Afghanistan since 2001, but a third of those who have lost their lives have been killed in the past year.
Second Lieutenant Neville Anthony Lockwood, Corporal Damien Mulverhill, Lieutenant John David Thornton, Marine Dale Edward Gostick, Marine Jamie Robert John Hutton, 4-2 Commando, Marine Benjamin John Busnell, Paul, 18 UK Special Forces Signal Regiment. Marine Jamie Robert John Hutton. Marine David John Marsh. Marine Joshua Howell.
It is emotional. It's not just a bunch of names on some marble slab back home, you know, when you stood around a monument. These are guys that we've known and served with, so yeah, it does make it very real.
The day's not quite at an end for Kev Mackey, because he's got one last duty to perform. Organising the volleyball.
Somebody has to be in charge, don't they, I guess. So I'm the keeper of the balls for the moment, and at least I can then put the word round and say to people, you know, are you coming to volleyball? And we get a team together. It's my little bed space. This is my home. Comfy bed with quilt, which is a real bonus.
Of course, Kev has a rigorous hygiene test for his volleyball kit.
You know, give it a sniff and see if it's going to do another day in the standard military fashion.
Right.
Oh, good serving. Should have had that.
It's not quite California dreaming, but in a war zone, you grab your fun where you can.
Yeah, well played.
As a player, well, he's still learning, obviously, here, but no, he's out here every week, so probably fine by the end of the tour. He'll be a professional. He's quite good at clapping, I think.
Oh, yes, sweet. Yeah, good play. Oh, been a bit busy for me, so just coming out here, you forget all about work and just have concentrate on the game for a few minutes. It's good fun.
The Harrier jump jets play a crucial role in Afghanistan. They're based at Kandahar airfield, ready to bomb the Taliban when ground troops come under attack. The squadron in charge of the jets is the Naval Strike Wing. They're on alert round the clock. 3 Harriers are already in the air. 5 are still on the ground. And in the ops room of GCAS, short for Ground Close Air Support, the pilot known as Tremors is up next.
Essentially what's happening today is all the assets that are airborne appear to be fighting. So as GCAS, we know that if any more fights crop up, or if any of them run out of munitions or fuel or both, then we're obviously the next to go. So we're sat here on tender hooks, waiting for the call to scramble.
Harriers travel in pairs, so Tremors has fellow pilot Nick standing by.
GCAS! GCAS! Scramble, scramble, scramble!
Tremors and Nick have got to get to their jets a mile down the runway. It's the only time they're allowed to break the 10-mile-an-hour speed limit.
What'll be happening back at Ops is that they're putting together the mission pack for us. So as soon as we switch on the aeroplanes, all we've got to do is bell up on the frequency, and they will give us who it is, where we're going, who we're talking to, and what the nature of the fight is. And obviously, sadly, real-world events like helicopters passing in front of you have to be sort of factored in.
It's a busy airstrip, full of civilian and military aircrafts. The Harrier engineers have got the planes primed and ready to go. Air traffic control clears the runway. Fighter jets always take priority. They head for Helmand, 140 miles away. It'll only take them 15 minutes to get to the battle zone. Now, the Harrier engineers just wait for the planes to come back. But they have a few things to keep them amused. Like their pet hedgehog, Dave.
Oh, it's partial to a bit of fruitcake as well.
Fruitcakey. Yeah. Devours in about a minute.
He just comes out and sits around here until someone sees him. And
Have you tried him on a Boston cream yet?
Nah, not yet.
Engineer Art is painting a mural to mark the squadron's tour of Afghanistan.
I thought I'd go for a nautical theme, including some nautical tattoos, get a bit of identity back for the Navy.
Some days it's really quiet and you've got nothing on, so today's not been really that much at all. There's just been a few sorties going up. It's just waiting around for jets to come down. Other days it can be manic. You turn up just non-stop all day, just trying to get the jet serviceable.
The next pilot ready to go is 30-year-old Lieutenant Simon Rawlins. His dad was a pilot and his mum was an air stewardess, so it's in the blood.
I'm very, very lucky because the only thing I ever wanted to do was fly aeroplanes. Flying Harrier is pretty cool, to be honest with you. I really, really enjoy it. And there's an expression that pilots use that your worst day in the air is always better than your best day on the ground, so I tend to subscribe to that. This is the highest state of readiness that we can get the aeroplane in without physically applying power to it. So in the morning, we check in, we get into the cockpit, we put all the switches in the right place where we need them to be, and hang our kit on the side of the aeroplane, such that when the call comes, we can literally, from a stationary start, we can be gear up within about 15 minutes on a good day.
The Harriers carry a seriously scary payload.
The GR7 that we've got here, we've got 1,000-pound laser-guided bombs, so it has a fairly devastating effect on the ground. These are our rockets. We carry 19 of them in each pod, so 38 in total, and we can fire them in a variety of modes, either a couple at a time or all 38 at once if required.
These bombs can wipe out whole compounds.
First question they ask you when you join the Navy is, would you be prepared to push the button? And I remember when they asked me, I kind of thought, well, we were doing peacekeeping at the time, it was Bosnia. It was never really an issue, and I kind of just glibly said, yeah, of course I would. It kind of brings it home when you're actually out here doing it. But ultimately, if you couldn't do it, you're probably in the wrong job. I personally don't take any satisfaction out of dropping bombs on people or hurting people. However, the only time we employ these weapons is normally in defence of British lives, say guys in the Army and the Marines, or coalition guys on the ground, and it's a last resort.
30,000 feet up, Tremors and Nick are above the village where troops have called in air support. But before they attack, they need to follow strict rules of engagement. If there are children or crowds on the ground, they're not allowed to bomb. Beneath the fuselage, there's a sniper targeting pod. Its powerful lens gives the pilot a close-up view of what's happening below. And it's clear they are not the enemy.
Nick and the other aeroplane quickly spotted the fact that quite a few of the moving people in this village were half the size of the others, which obviously means they're children. It's a great spot from him.
So they abort the mission. And the jets head back to base.
The sitch on the ground when we got there was basically it wouldn't have been appropriate for us to have waded on in. It turned out that there was a fairly busy road with a big traffic jam on it, quite close as well. So the ground troops moved in through the village, and as far as I can tell, they didn't actually find any of the bad guys. The bad guys, as is their wont, simply melted away like they tend to around here.
There's not much downtime when you're living in a war zone. But when you are off duty, you might as well do something useful, like raise money for charity. At the British gym, the Naval Strike Wing are competing in a triathlon, officers versus engineers. It's all in a good cause, help for heroes. Pilot Tremors is leading the officers' team.
To be honest, if there's anything we can do to help our own wounded, the boys will always pitch in. And also it gets some lads versus officers rivalry going, so that'll be good as well.
They've got to run 3 miles, row a mile, and then cycle 27 more.
That's it, finish it off now. 2, 1, 3, yeah! Follow that.
And there's other distractions.
Hello.
Like the fishing pond.
Hello, Padre, how are you? Are they actually not fishing you?
We've been teaching other people to cast as they've been.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah?
Do you want to go?
10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, so like that. So that's the plan.
Not really good at this.
You'll feel it. You're on really.
Oh, that wasn't very good, was it? Catch our lunch. Hope we catch something soon.
But there's one thing Kate is good at, and that's shopping. Today's market day, where the local Afghans sell their goods.
Hiya. You're right.
First, a quick security check.
My picture.
It's not long till the girls are bartering.
45. 45? Yeah. 35.
They don't exactly drive a hard bargain.
40? 45. It's up to you. Thank you very much. Banana.
Kate wants to get souvenirs to take home to Wales.
I've got to get some pashminas. That's nice.
Look in the back side.
50?
Yeah. Each 25.
25. How much did you pay? 20. She paid 20.
This time round, she bags herself a bargain.
Thank you, Banana. Bye.
The market gives Kate a chance to practice her Arabic, because although she's from Wales, she's half Iraqi.
I never used to tell people when the Iraq War kicked off a few years ago, because some people didn't react very well to it. Some people just don't believe me, or they're just shocked, because I don't look Arabic. They just don't expect it. And other people will laugh and say, oh, have you been security cleared? It's just a good laugh, just banter things. How much are these? 5 for 10.
The market is the only chance most of the troops get to mix with the locals.
How old is he? 6. Oh, my little brother's 7. Thank you. Thank you, Banana. I think it's good for the locals because even though it's cheap, you know, like 5 for $10, how many people in Afghanistan's going to have $10 to spend on pashminas? There's not. They're really, really nice people out here. They're so friendly.
He's lovely. How much for him?
I don't. The whole war thing's hard, really, because I don't think my view on it has changed from when I come out here to now. I don't know how much I really, even still being out here now, how much I actually agree with us being here, but we are, so you've just got to do what you've come out here to do. I think maybe it'll improve, and then we'll come out and it'll just go back to how it was again, because people have tried to do it so many times before we have.
At the other side of the camp, Faye Nunn's part of the 12-strong RAF armourers team. She works at the bomb dump. With so much weaponry on base, it needs to be stored somewhere away from the main camp.
This is basically where we keep all the bombs that are built up, ready to go over to the squadron. We build the weapons from scratch, basically. We put them all together. People are quite shocked a lot of the time, probably mainly because obviously I'm a girl, so it's not really a sort of female-orientated job.
She's the only female RAF armourer in Kandahar, and it makes a change for the rest of the lads.
I think they quite enjoy having a girl around most of the time, so yeah, it's good. It's good fun. It's good fun. Do miss a bit of female company every now and again. Some people find it quite exciting, some people find it quite disgusting in a way, you know. There's been occasions when you tell people what you do for a living and they don't seem too impressed about it, but at the end of the day, saving lives, really, in a way. I know in a way we're killing people, but it's our troops that are on the ground and we're going in supporting them and, you know, saving their skin, basically.
In the hangars, Harrier pilot Simon Rawlin has been called into action to help some Danish soldiers in Helmand province.
You are always nervous. I've been flying out here quite a few times now. I've got quite a few hours on the Harrier, and there is not a single time that I engage a target that I am not nervous.
Simon's heading to a village 90 miles west of Kandahar. The Danes are coming under heavy enemy fire. They urgently need air support, so he's got to get there fast.
Rounds complete, that target should be very obvious now. I think 6-7 rounds left there.
I'm 3.5 miles north of the target, heading west.
At the bomb dump, Faye's had a call to head to the airstrip with replacements in case Simon drops his load. She's got a laser-guided paveway bomb on board and a 2-vehicle escort, just in case.
Probably take us about half an hour to get over there. Quite a lot of the time you're having to pull off every couple of minutes because there's a C-17 or a TriStar, which is a bit daunting at first. So that's what scares me about driving down a taxiway with a bomb on the trolley showing behind you, and then you've got this massive Herc just coming at you. I'm not going to play chicken with a Hercules.
Faye's come up against another snag.
Joe's just given me a little beat, so I think the straps might be a bit loose. Just jump out and have a quick look. Whoops. See, women drivers shouldn't leave us in control of a vehicle. Okay. Right, good to go again.
Faye continues her cautious journey. 145 miles away in Helmand province, Simon's now above enemy lines.
When people are getting shot at, you can hear the fear in their voice sometimes, and their voice goes up an octave, people start screaming down the radios, and that's the time when you need to be really, really careful, make sure you're all talking about the right target, but then crucially get the weapons down as quickly as possible. The consequences of getting it wrong are massive.
Simon's using the sniper targeting pod that allows him to strike with deadly accuracy. Once he's released the paveway bomb, the pod fires a laser signal at its target, which bounces back, and the bomb locks onto the laser, readjusts its position, and strikes. This all happens in a split second. Simon reaches the battle scene. As soon as he gets the go-ahead from the troops on the ground, he drops the bomb, and the sniper targeting pod does the rest. The bomb travels at 4 times the speed of sound.
Nowhere 5-3, that's a direct hit on suspect compound. Smoke securing, stand by for PDA.
Only 30 minutes since the call for help, the target's been engaged and destroyed. Mission accomplished. Simon heads home, minus 1 bomb.
Rocks up on the scene, and they were taking a lot of fire from a compound, and so we ended up dropping on that compound, which apparently did the job, stopped the fire. I don't particularly enjoy blowing up compounds, to be honest with you. It's not really what we're about, but you know, I suppose ultimately at the end of the day, you know, we help the coalition troops stop the guys who are in trouble. So yeah, mixed emotions really. But
Faye's arrived with a replacement bomb. These laser-guided missiles cost £50,000 each.
the guys obviously are now just going to reload the weapon on from the one that was dropped earlier on. So they're now reloading that. As you can see, they do it very quickly. And then this aeroplane will be ready to go again, if required.
Makes kind of all the hard work worthwhile, really. At the end of the day, you've helped some of the troops that are out there on the ground, you know, that are, you know, they've been out there struggling in a fight or whatever, and we've gone in and helped them out, which, yeah, it does make you feel good.
Andy Fryer's the commander of Kandahar Airfield, also known as COMCAF. He's an RAF man, but NATO's put him in charge of overseeing troops from 28 different nations on the base. It's a tricky job.
Although there are close to 13,000 people, only 650 of them actually work for me. So trying to get things lined up is a question of it's more negotiation than command. Almost every day a VIP to host, and then really a series of meetings, from the interesting to the dull.
But today's an interesting one, because Andy's going to meet one of his heroes.
This morning we've got General Petraeus arriving. far as the Americans are concerned, he's the commander that runs this part of the globe, so a very important person.
And Andy's leading the welcoming committee.
Ah, there's nobody here.
But he can't find his entourage.
We have got out there and found that the VIPs already arrived and gone, so trying to find out exactly what's happening is a bit of a challenge. OK. I'll go out, salute them, welcome to Kandahar as the commander. That's my role to do that. And then quite often I'll just hand them over to their national representative, which is what happened this morning. One of the problems with meeting VIPs out on the ramp is knowing which part of the ramp the airplane's going to park in, because it's huge. What's the word on timing?
Left on time.
OK, that's fine. I haven't seen him yet, but he'll be coming in from that direction. Yeah, that's almost certainly him. Let's see, it's a C-130.
Military planes tend to come in one shade of grey, so it can be a bit confusing.
Actually, that's a Canadian aircraft. So that may not be it. That's not him. That's US. See, that's American. See the flash on the tail? They are like buses. You don't see one for an hour, and then you see two within 5 minutes.
Andy's big moment is near, but he's feeling confident.
When I was more junior, I would be nervous. But you quickly realise that generals and air marshals, they're just people. Ralph, can you maybe come off the front or the back? I don't know. OK, we'll watch for him.
General Petraeus is one of the most important soldiers in the world. He's in charge of over 200,000 US troops in the Middle East and was responsible for the big surge into Iraq in 2007.
Hello, sir. Andy Fryer. Very nice to meet you. Very well. I'm Tom Cath. Very warm welcome here.
Well, thank you very much. Good to be here. It is warm.
I'll be follow me, sir.
You will?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we'll follow you then. Okay.
General Petraeus is en route to London, where he'll be meeting Andy's boss, the Air Chief Marshal.
You'll have met before, no doubt.
We have more than a few times. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you can tell him we're on the case, sir.
Okay.
So everything's looking pretty good.
Attack helicopters and all that?
So more helicopters of all kinds.
Okay, good.
So,
good.
All right, sir.
Great.
Nice to see you.
Okay.
So, I did feel a bit nervous, actually, after all that. Yeah, that's quite an honour, really. I mean, he'll be a man whose name will be known for years. So to have met him in Afghanistan, that's quite a privilege. Yeah, it's one for the album there. I'll try and get Andy to take a picture of anybody that's sort of historic. So not often you get to meet General Petraeus.
The base is home to some classic military aircraft. The Harrier, the Chinook, and the Hercules have all been around for over 40 years. But there's a new kid on the block. The RAF's latest addition to its fleet, the Reaper. It's an unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, a remote-controlled warplane that's operated from the ground by a real-life pilot. The RAF has a small fleet of UAVs in Kandahar, and the guys responsible for them are well aware of their controversial reputation.
One of the biggest problems we have to deal with is perceptions. I think people have a view that this is some sort of robot machine, some airborne killing drone. It has very negative connotations. This is another warplane, just like the Harrier is, just like the Hercules is. It flies to exactly the same rules. The only difference is that the pilot isn't sitting in it. He's sat there, relative safety, on the ground.
Mike's the pilot who's in charge of taking off and landing the Reaper.
We've got a 12-hour day, 7 days a week for 4 months, without a break unless we get bad weather.
Once it's in the air, Mike hands over control to another pilot, who's 7,000 miles away at a US airbase in the Nevada desert. Weighing in at just half a ton, the Reaper has a wingspan of 64 feet and a V-shaped tail for extra stability. It's driven by a turboprop engine, giving it a speed of 250 miles per hour. Underneath the nose is a powerful camera that beams clear images of the ground from 20,000 feet.
We can look from many miles away and look at individuals and give us the advantage of knowing what the insurgent is up to before he knows where we are.
The weapons are tucked under each wing. There's a mix of Hellfire missiles and GB-12 laser-guided bombs.
The previous crew get clearance for RTB Flight Rule 200.
The Reaper's come to the end of its mission, so the pilot in Nevada hands over to Mike in Kandahar for the landing.
We're just about to pick up the aircraft. We're getting something. All right, that's us just taking the aircraft from Nevada.
It looks like a simulator, but he's landing a £10 million plane.
I do think I'm flying. You get absorbed, you're flying a mission. Apart from you're not pulling G, that's the only difference. The heart rate's up, the adrenaline's going. You know the implications if you get it wrong are severe because there's a lot riding on it, obviously.
Mike's relying on monitors to guide him in.
So a 2D image, it's difficult to get a feel if you're sinking or whether you're drifting. So yeah, that's probably the biggest challenge, is landing it safely. And then just trying to keep your speed, dealing with updrafts, downdrafts, changes of airspeed. You have to be quite proactive with the throttle.
Its lightweight design means one wrong move can spell disaster.
It's really unforgiving. The accidents that have happened, they haven't looked too dissimilar to a normal approach, and then suddenly you're in trouble. That's why we're so apprehensive every time we're on the approach.
But he's not home and dry yet.
The second hardest thing to landing it is taxiing it. And that is it. Done. Paperwork, lunch, gym, bed. And so the routine continues.
It's certainly the future, and we're looking at all sorts of other concepts as well. Whether it's the end of the man jet's time, we'll tell.
There are 14,000 people living on the base, so making sure there's enough food for them all is a major operation.
We probably go through, per meal, something like 250, 300 kilos of potatoes. Biggest sellers? Always chicken. Chicken always, everywhere, any way you like. You know, we can cook it 240 ways, and they'll eat it 240 ways.
5,000 chickens are eaten every day, and they all have to be transported here. They're stored along with the rest of the food in a massive warehouse, the size of 3 aircraft hangars. It's run by a private contractor, and Andy Fryer's come to have a look.
We store over 2,500 pallets of product here, all kept at a constant temperature of 18 degrees.
There's an enormous amount of coke here, actually. It's amazing, actually, how much fizzy pop there is here. Almost everywhere I can see at this level. Yes. Do we buy anything locally?
No product is purchased locally. So all the product has to be EU approved. Yeah.
They try to cater for every nation's taste. Sauerkraut, Tabasco, and loads of ketchup.
I've never seen so much ketchup in all my life.
And always plenty of baked beans.
Yes. Oh, yes.
In the middle of the desert, you need the mother of all fridges.
So what have we got in here, then?
A lot of fresh eggs, a lot of cheese, some chocolate bars, and your yogurts and custards.
An Englishman always needs his custard.
The workers in the freezer section are limited to 45-minute shifts, because in here it can get as cold as minus 23 degrees.
Considering here we are in the middle of Afghanistan, to be able to have the variety and quality of food that we do is just extraordinary.
Most of the food gets to the base by truck. The 1,200-mile route the drivers take is one of the most dangerous in the world. They pick up the loads from the port in Karachi in Pakistan and then drive via Peshawar and through the Khyber Pass down to Kandahar. In December 2008, the Taliban destroyed hundreds of trucks on their way here. And most of the vehicles that make it to the airbase have their battle scars.
If you look here, you can see bullet holes in the side of this container. This is just a typical truck that ships up food from Karachi for us. And if you go around to the front of this, you'll see bullet holes in the front of the vehicle, just below where the driver sits. So the driver's risking their lives every day to deliver food and fuel.
But the drivers are prepared to take the risk, because one delivery can earn them over a month's wages.
You
think, yeah, it is too dangerous. What I do, I have 10 guys in my family. It is my duty, it's my responsibility to support all my family. If I don't work, so what I eat?
Over 200 drivers have been killed in the last 2 years, so there's a price to pay in all this.
It's party night for the Naval Strike Wing. They're celebrating one of the most important dates in the Navy calendar, the Battle of Taranto, when the Royal Navy launched the first all-aircraft naval attack in history on the Italian fleet in Taranto Harbour in 1940. Harrier pilot Tremors is hosting the show.
What we're going to have tonight is a lads versus officers with a few guests as well, sort of Taranto. It's a knockout, as it were, with various events designed around the battle. So they're all themed games, but essentially it's just an opportunity for the guys to unwind.
First, the officers get dressed up to tell the lads the story.
The battle itself commenced at 22:58. The flare droppers and the bombers hit the oil tanks on the eastern side of the harbour, which actually lit it up and allowed the following aircraft to home in. 3 of the torpedo bombers...
Next up, Pilot Bolly plays an Italian sailor, complete with authentic accent. Well, sort of.
I think the only aircraft the British have is the Swordfish torpedo bomber. It is a very, very old biplane, so very slow.
Now, time for some fun.
The game's basically navigating to Taranto around various obstacles. The boys are going to be blindfold, under fire from other teams.
Believe it or not, there's no alcohol on base, so they're doing this stone cold sober.
Right, the final game of the evening is a reconstruction of the battle itself. You have 30 seconds starting now.
There's one other celebration. It's engineer Archie's birthday, but instead of the usual sing-along, his mates have chosen his favourite song.
Look in her eyes. She's out of my league. Just a fool to believe I have anything she's like the wind.
Admin clerk Kate Aziz has good reason to celebrate. Her time in Afghanistan has come to an end.
Got told a few hours ago that I'm on tonight's flight, so I'm just packing, getting my stuff sorted. Oh, I didn't even know where to start though, because I've got so much crap. Loads of stuff for my family in here, and t-shirts and things for them, perfume, stuff off the market. So they'll have something from Afghanistan.
To mark every soldier's tour at Kandahar airfield, they're awarded a NATO medal.
Emergencies took part in the Health for Heroes charity cycle, helping raise £2,000 sterling for a worthwhile and deserving cause. She returns to RAF Honington on the 24th of November. Emergencies.
Everything is so full on out here that getting back and having time to relax and things like that, I think that's going to be strange. Lovely, thank you. When you're getting rocketed, and they are getting closer than what they were when I first got out here, and now people are getting hurt, and they seem to be a bit more on target. It is a bit worrying, so I'll be glad to get away from that. You can just go to bed knowing that you're going to wake up and everything's going to be the same in the morning. I suppose I've been here sort of nearly 4.5 months now, and you get really close to people, and I am going to miss it. I'll probably cry.
Kandahar is the biggest NATO base in the world. With £1 billion worth of hardware and 14,000 people behind the fence, it needs to be protected. And that's down to the RAF Regiment, the infantry of the Royal Air Force. It's 6 a.m. and A-Flight have been on call all night, in uniform and boots, ready to go at a moment's notice. Young gunner Nathan Choules was fresh out of training when he was sent to Afghanistan.
I don't really talk much in the morning, mate. Not a morning person whatsoever.
Shift over, they're off to get some breakfast.
One thing I like about being here, going to the American mess, and getting pancakes for breakfast. That's brilliant. Especially when you feel like shit in the morning.
How much sleep have you had?
I've had quite a bit actually, about 4.5 hours. Really get used to it though. I find now on my day off, if I have like more than 6 hours sleep, I feel like I've overslept.
Four months ago, Choules' squadron were getting ready to leave the UK.
Let's get your dog tags on.
He'd never been abroad before.
This is my first holiday, going to Afghanistan. It's going to be brilliant.
His boss, Sergeant Bennett Jones, had to keep a close eye on all the brand new recruits.
I'm pretty much their dad, and I think any dad would agree with me, having a child is very stressful, all right? Now imagine having 30 kids to look after at once. It's a massive learning curve for them, and you'll see the difference from now to the end of the tour, massively grown-up people. Get on the bus now, all right?
Jonesy was about to become a dad for real, leaving behind his fiancée Lucy, who was pregnant with their first baby.
It's just a bit nerve-wracking now because I'm not going to see him until he gets back after the baby's born, so scary, I suppose.
Now, the squadron's 2/3 of the way through their tour of duty. And Jonesy's just got some news.
A phone call from my missus' family saying Lucy's water had broke. I spoke to her probably about 2 hours later, and she was actually very quiet on the phone. And I asked, why are you so quiet? And she said, because she was in a hospital ward. And then she said, obviously, I've just given birth to our little daughter. So, yeah. So it's quite exciting. And I haven't really slept since then. I've just been walking around and pacing around and just doing stuff and just trying to keep busy.
He can't get on a flight for a couple of days, so won't be able to see his new baby just yet.
I wish I was there, and I'm gutted I missed it in a way. But it still doesn't stop what I'm doing here.
He's got to lead a fact-finding mission outside the wire. He and his lads get kitted up for a 2-day patrol. Choules is on top cover.
This road here leads all the way to Kandahar city. It's one of the main transit points. one of the ones we keep an eye on the most.
This is one of the most dangerous roads in Afghanistan.
We go past someone, we'll make sure they've stopped and on the side of the road. Because you never know what they got in there.
If the drivers don't stop, they get a warning.
We didn't fire at them, we just fired it into a bit of dead ground beside them.
The regiment finds some suspicious holes by the side of the road. Improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, are one of the regiment's biggest threats. 5 of the squadron have already been injured by these roadside bombs.
There was 3 holes, even they spread apart. They plant IEDs in holes. They dig in and dig them in. It's something we look for, keep an eye on it.
This time, the holes are empty. They continue their journey. But there's a taxi that isn't stopping as it should.
Don't like vehicles follow me at that distance.
Any driver could be a suicide bomber.
They can blow up at any time. We like to keep them at 100 metres. It's fucking stupid. It pisses me off. It's like you've got nothing better to do with a line, apart from end it. I would love to know how they think, I really would. Just to know why they just want to kill us.
The suspect vehicle stops to let the regiment pass. But the stress is getting to Choules.
It does drain you mentally, and emotionally, and physically. You're just fucked, basically. It's a proper drain. I don't know how I'm going to feel at the end of these 6 months.
The convoy's heading to a summer house belonging to the brother of the Afghan president. He hardly ever goes there, but the regiment wants to check it out.
That's where we're going over there. The building in between the 2 lights on the lower ground, because nobody knows what goes on in there. Nobody knows what's in there.
That compound is within our area of responsibility. So even though it's pretty much owned by, President Karzai's brother, we still need to know about it. We will try diplomatically gaining access. Just get in there, take pictures of the place. Got to get information on stuff like the security force, how many people they have in there at certain times, all the usual pertinent questions.
The servants let them in.
Very nice, isn't it? Very nice. Yeah.
They get the layout and the contents of the house.
He's got his AK there.
Jonesy wants to know what other guns are kept in the house.
What sort of weapons?
PKM.
PKM, yeah.
AK.
Yeah.
RPG.
RPG. And they keep all them here, do they? Yes. When he comes here, does he bring his own security force with him? More people, like bodyguards and...
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, mate. Nothing seriously dodgy. There was one room that was locked. That's his sleeping quarters. I haven't got the authority to, obviously break into him because I'm not doing an actual search. It's just a normal rich person's house within the area.
Last night on Kandahar Air Base, there was a rocket attack. It hit the main airstrip. Although no one was injured, a C-130 Hercules was damaged. Herc pilot Chris Phillips, better known as Chap, has come to have a look.
There was a big gash in there where a piece of shrapnel had gone straight through the fuselage and into the cargo compartment. The window up there has taken an impact. And then there's 2 more big holes in the wing. We're very lucky that we didn't get other aircraft damaged, because obviously they're all on a line.
The Hercules is the main aeroplane for transporting troops and supplies around Afghanistan. There are only 4 out here, so they can't afford to be 1 Herc down.
I noticed the major damage to the front of the fuselage is already being fixed.
Well, from what I gather, they're doing a scab patch repair. They're going to blend the damage out by the side of the screen and replace the screen.
The bodywork expert's got to be careful where he points his drill.
As you can see, the repair is right behind the main air conditioning unit for the whole of the aircraft. So pretty dark in there, and access is pretty difficult, to be honest.
You gonna put straight down on the stand here?
Yeah.
The shrapnel's ripped straight through the wing and into the internal piping for cabin pressure.
Whole leading edge? Yeah.
We were quite lucky with the fact that there was no one at the aircraft. So easily it could have been a crew crewing in, it could have been the engineers working on it, and then we'd be in a different situation.
The attack was a near miss for the RAF's movers, who load the planes with cargo. Bossman Sergeant Carl Eccleston, better known as Eki, was on duty when the rocket hit.
It went off really loud. You know, you could feel the pebbles hitting everything. Anybody who says they're not frightened is a liar. They really are. You know, I've had many go off. And that's, you know, you still check yourself when you get up to make sure there's no damp patches. You know, you do shit yourself.
Eki and his movers have to shift around 100 tons of cargo a day to and from the aircraft. They work for all the different NATO forces based here. With one Hercules down, the cargo's now piling up on the runway.
All right, and how much does it weigh? Right, and that was coming from Bastion, was it? I'll be honest with you, mate, everybody's kit is a priority one, mate.
It's a logistics nightmare, and gets even more tricky when one of the bosses higher up the chain tries to call in a favour.
You've got a rank structure within the forces, and a lot of people will try and use that. All right, they'll come on the phone straight away, and it's kind of, you know, right, I need this, I'm so I need this, we're doing that, you will do that. And you're like, well, I'm sorry, but that won't happen, no, we can't do that. And it's like, right, do you realise who I am? Like, well, you know, at the end of the day, have a Coke and a smile. Do one. Do you know what I mean? Do one. Come back and tell me who's won.
A big load's just arrived on the runway, and the Belgian Air Force want it moved to their compound.
We need a forklift.
OK.
It's just in front of the Camp Roberts.
All right, you want it to go to Camp Roberts?
Yes.
Billy! Will you take it off and then take it up to Camp Roberts for him? Yeah. Nice one, big boy.
The movers have a fleet of forklifts, and they're going to need the biggest one they've got to shift some flat pack accommodation blocks.
So they'll bring a low loader down, and we'll put onto the low loader, then they'll follow him back in the cats, and then do the offload for him. Spread it out, mate, just a little bit. Nice one, big boy. We just make it happen, do you know what I mean? It's just the way it is, you know? Stip up a British lip and all that, you know?
With the lorry loaded up, they start their slow 6-mile journey over to the Belgian camp. Eki has to deal with requests from 28 different countries.
French, Italian, whatever. Sometimes there's a language barrier. Where do you want it, mate?
We're waiting for two piece, one piece on the left and one piece on right.
OK, mate, yeah, we can do that. Okay. We can do that for you. You can always get by. You can always understand what they're on about at the end of the day. Might take a little bit longer. You can always converse in some way, shape or form. Stop there, Mill. You tell me when to stop, mate, yeah? Nice one, big boy.
Yes, good. Very nice. It's a good service.
In typical Belgian fashion, they offer the movers a beer.
We can't drink beer.
Belgian beer.
Can't do beer, mate. We're dry. Dry. We can't drink beer. No, we can't drink beer. We can't drink beer, mate. We're dry. A soft drink. You have a soft drink? Soft drink, please, yeah. I am gutted, I tell you, I am really gutted. I'm turning down beer here, mate. Fanta, please. Fanta, if I may. Fanta.
Yeah, Fanta.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mate, thanks a lot.
Thank you for the
No problem. No problem. See you later, big boy. Take it easy, men. All right. See you later, mate.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
All All the supplies that are flown into the base are stored in warehouses. Everything the troops need in Afghanistan, from uniforms to ration packs. NATO employs 100 Gurkhas to run this part of the operation. Corporal Yogi Limbu is one of the supervisors.
When we pack it, we check it again.
Yeah.
We check it again so that the guys get right quantity, not
Exactly
more,
the right, not less. Yeah, spot on.
He's got to make sure his team's got the right order for a delivery that's going out on the next Hercules.
We have everything here for about 8,000 soldiers. Clothing kit, boots, jacket, trousers, safety jackets, camel pack, inner thermals, everything here basically.
Jay Frost is Yogi's boss.
So is all of this going to Lashkar?
Yeah, most of them are going to Lashkar.
Yeah.
Well, the best way that I've managed to get my head around it is to think of the place a bit like the Amazon warehouse, or perhaps, you know, somewhere like Argos. If a shopper comes into the store, that kit will be sorted and placed into a lane for them.
The Gurkhas are dedicated soldiers in the combat zone, and their work ethic's just the same in the warehouse.
They work together, very, very close-knit teams, and sort of second-guess each other a lot more. I'm not saying that British soldiers can't do that, but Gurkhas more so.
Even though we are working inside a fence, we work for the guys in the outside, so we are giving our best to support them.
When he's not working, Yogi finds time to be goalkeeper for the Gurkhas football team. They've made it into the Inter-Service Cup final, and they're up against the Marine Expeditionary Force.
Whatever it takes, we are going to win this.
But the Gurkhas are fired up.
They're going to lose. They're going to lose. Yeah. Lose again, man. We're going to win.
The Gurkhas have got a reputation for being tough as nails, both off and on the pitch. But this time, they're well and truly beaten. 9-3 to the opposition. But Yogi's philosophical about the defeat.
Yes! To get in the final, you have to win each and every single matches, so it was hard to get there, but we did well, I think, yeah.
Back at the runway, pilot Chap has come to visit the injured Hercules and finds it's all fixed up and ready to go again.
It's the time really that's impressed me. I thought this was going to be out for a long while, and yet here we are. So they've replaced all the glass, resealed it, fixed the wing on the inside there where the shrapnel went through the leading edge. There were 2 big cuts in the fuselage. I wouldn't be surprised if this aircraft spends the rest of its life flying with these 2 little panels on. It'll have its own war story.
The Herc crew's next mission is to make a delivery to the front line. But just when they thought it was good to go, they found another problem.
One of the tyres was quite worn, so the last thing we need is a blowout on landing. We'll get it changed here. It'll only take 45 minutes.
This is no mean feat when your tyre weighs over 30 stone and you're jacking up a 50-ton plane. But it's not a job for a pilot.
I'm going to have a cup of tea. And then I'll come out and obviously inspire them, a bit of morale.
Over to the loadies.
Worst case scenario could be 70 tons. It's not quite that heavy today. It looks strenuous work. I'm slightly out of breath, but I'll recover soon. It's just the jack up bit. Obviously the wheel, weighs a couple hundred kilos itself, but it's all about technique.
In true pilot fashion, we just pitch up, cup of tea, bacon roll. Everything all right? Yeah, great work. Bit of motivation.
The RAF's movers arrive with the Herc's load, a spare engine for a stranded Chinook that's broken down at a forward operating base.
This is the engine and some other bits and bobs. Assorted freight. Hard, keep going.
Joe, the Herc loadie, guides it on board.
It's got to be straight. If it's not straight, it'll just jam and you'll never get it on. So we're going to load this one onto the main floor, then a baggage pallet onto the ramp here, and hopefully we'll be gone.
Stop.
Now we're way late, we'll see. Okay, follow me through. That's right, Gear up, please.
A Hercules is a large and valuable target for the Taliban. They try to attack them on a regular basis. So, Loadie Joe is on the lookout for anyone launching a missile. But 5 minutes into the flight, the onboard defence mechanisms are triggered. Flares are launched to divert any heat-seeking missiles, and pilot Chap prepares his crew for a possible hit.
You assume the worst straight away, and you want to get eyes out to make sure that there isn't something coming towards you. So that's why we've got the observers down the back.
Joe confirms it's a false alarm.
That concentrates the mind. But I can only think it wasn't happy, so it's just fired them as a safety. Doesn't have me brimming with confidence, I must admit. No. Well, it makes me more confident actually, because I know it works.
The Hercules crew are 80 miles north of Kandahar Air Base, dropping off a new engine to a Chinook that's broken down at Tarin Kowt. Pilot Chap has to land the plane on a patch of desert in hostile territory.
I reckon I'm there now. Okay, on glide path on set line. Speed is 20 knots fast.
The strip is rough ground that's been demined, cleared of debris and rolled. It's quarter of the length of a normal runway, so Chap's got to land right at the front in a marked out area the size of a tennis court.
Speed's 7 knots fast.
The big difference with the strip is we have to ensure, because it's shorter, it's narrower, that we land when we need to land. If you bounce, you've got to go around. And believe it or not, a big aircraft like this, you can actually bounce it.
80 feet. 40. 20.
If he overshoots the runway, he could end up in a minefield. He slams on the brakes and puts the engines into reverse. The Hercules is an easy target for the Taliban when it's on the ground, so the delivery needs to be quick.
Looking at the next step ahead, and I'm thinking about where I'm going to park.
Okay, 30 knots, speed's under control.
Where people are on the ground, whether we've got any threats. So you never really switch off, you can't in this environment.
You're clear, right? Okay, stop into there. Roger that. Right, parking brakes on. You're clear out the back.
The loadies hand the Chinook engine over to the engineers to get the stranded helicopter back up and running.
Okay, it's going to be MOS departure.
And the Herc crew get more cargo for their next stop, the capital city, Kabul.
Around Afghanistan there are lots of strips, but it is not the norm, the way we operate the aircraft. You never call a strip an everyday thing.
Rotate. Gear up, please. Bells.
Once they're out of the hostile zone, they can relax a bit.
Reconfirm squawking 0373.
Oh, it's beautiful outside.
Good time of day to be flying, isn't it?
Not ideal though in terms of security of the aircraft we fly during the day. At night we are obviously less conspicuous, but it will be dark by the time we get into Kabul. So yeah, we get to see beautiful views like this.
An hour later, they arrive in Kabul. They deliver their cargo and reward themselves after a stressful day.
We finally made it so that we can actually pick up some food. Thai does most amazing curries. Good bit of morale boost, really, for the guys.
Right in the middle of Kabul's airbase, there's a Thai takeaway.
Green curry, please.
Green curry, chicken or beef, sir?
Chicken, please.
Chicken, yes.
I have a cashew nut.
Cashew nut.
With steamed rice, please. Lots of chilies.
Okay.
He did tell me that specifically. I did warn him, but no, he wanted it.
After picking up their takeaway, the crew head back to Kandahar.
Thanks for getting the grub, chap. Pleasure.
Chap leaves the flying to his co-pilot and plays trolley dolly, microwaving their in-flight meals.
How is yours? You said you wanted it hot. Oh, did he ask for it extra freshly hot? It's hot. Is it actually consumable though? Yeah, it's actually very tasty. Yeah. Gentlemen, down the back, do you want anything?
To round off a perfect dinner, coffee's all round.
I'm just fucking bored. Milk fucking everywhere. They're the crappiest pourers in the fucking world.
Perhaps he should stick to the day job.
Fuck's sake.
On a busy airbase, there are plenty of everyday hazards that could injure the troops and civilians living here. So there are strict rules that need to be enforced, and one man is in charge of this. The RAF's head of safety, squadron leader Steve O'Neill.
Well, they started calling me Safety Steve, because obviously Chief of Safety. Do you want a brew, Carl?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Coming up, mate. Coming up. One of my key personnel is Warrant Officer Carl Dowdell, who I call Careful Carl. Now, he's the explosive safety expert. That's one of Carl's wife's.
Actually, they're my sister-in-law's biscuits.
Oh, I beg you, I thought it was the wife.
They're rock hard, and they are the new SAS of biscuits for dunking. They cause you dental damage.
Again! Tip me again!
Safety Steve and Careful Carl are off to inspect the base. Their first stop, the rubbish tip, where locals are employed by a private contractor to sort through 60 tonnes of rubbish a day.
I must admit, they do a fantastic job. And they all do it with a smile on their face, which I don't know where else you would get that.
I don't think you'd find it anywhere in Britain, that's for sure, but
No,
it's not something I'd like to do.
The rubbish is put into separate piles. Food gets buried, paper and cardboard's burnt, plastic goes into a toxic waste unit, and there's one special burn pit.
As well as medical waste, we actually do cremations for military dogs.
Okay.
We cremated one last week that was awarded 2 medals. And the soldiers come back and collect the ashes.
Right.
And ship it back to the States.
And that would just be for the military dogs, you know, the wild dogs.
The wild dogs we put in the big burners.
In the pit of Hades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And, well, I guess these dogs were considered soldiers, right?
Yeah, I don't know how the US is. I'm sure it's the same as us, but our dogs in the Royal Air Force are called airmen. You know, air dogs. I beg your pardon.
Steve and Carl's next job is to collect ammunition that's been dumped by the troops coming back to base. The soldiers aren't allowed to carry any live bullets or grenades on them unless they're on duty. So there are ammo bins around the camp, and they fill up pretty quickly.
Let's see what goodies we've got. Let's have a little look. Lovely jubbly.
So we've got about 3 or 4 days worth in here. Lots of Eastern European ammunition.
feel like a Mexican bandit with this amount of ammo.
My job today is to dispose of all this unserviceable munitions. If the coalition forces, we're going to use the ammunition that we have in here. It might not work because it has an old shelf life. So we blow it up and take it off the street so the enemy can't use it.
The regiment lads are heading back to base after being outside the wire on patrol. They've been sleeping in the desert where the temperature at night has dropped to -10.
It's like getting up in the morning like that. Full softy suit on, balaclava, everything. Every bit of warm kit I had, it was still cold.
What, that's frost?
Yeah.
That's frost. That's frost!
Hey, is there any frost there?
Mate, there's fucking frost right there, right?
My morale has gone down massively. I can't imagine what it's going to be like this time next month. Because it hasn't even started raining yet. It's just the beginning of winter. And I'm really hating it.
Charles's boss, Jonesy, is packing to go back to the UK. He's got a month's leave because 2 days ago, his fiancée gave birth to a little girl.
It still feels a bit weird at the moment because I haven't actually seen her yet. I think when I actually see her for the first time and pick her up, then yeah. I think, yeah, it'll be massively different. So yeah, looking forward to that one.
He's got a 15-hour journey, flying the first leg on a C-17 Globemaster. At RAF Brize Norton in Oxfordshire, a TriStar touches down. Sergeant Bennett Jones of the RAF Regiment is home after 4 long months away. And he's about to be reunited with his fiancée Lucy and meet his week-old daughter Maisie for the very first time.
No.
Got her?
Yeah, that's it.
Lovely.
The first time I picked her up was actually quite scary, in honesty, because she just feels really delicate and I was just a bit like uneasy and on edge, you know, thinking, am I doing it right, am I holding it right, or... it's just quite a weird feeling. It's quite nice, though. Yeah.
When he came home, it was just... Maisie was in her cot and he didn't know what to do, he didn't know what to say. He just looked a bit lost, but in like a sweet kind of way. He couldn't stop smiling at her. It was just instant sort of attraction. Right, in her mouth, fully in. No, she can't have that, it's got to go all the way in. That's it.
There you go. This is the first time I've fed her. She seems to have fell asleep at the moment. She's playing with it.
Being home from a war zone means a big adjustment for Jonesy and Lucy.
After seeing the stuff he sees, it's a bit, I don't know, traumatic for him really in a sense. So I don't think he likes to say much about it. And then I feel like I missed out on his life, so I get a bit with him. So it feels like he's changed, but then I suppose I feel like I've changed to him because we spent so much time apart.
Let me there.
In a month's time, he'll be back in Afghanistan and Lucy and Maisie will be on their own again.
Bennett's got so much at stake at home. You know, if anything happens, we're going to be just lost, you know. That's the only word. It's just a bit lost without him.
Jones is happy to be with his family, but he can't help but think about his squadron 4,000 miles away in Kandahar.
Even though I was leaving for a good reason, obviously, to come back and meet my daughter and that, it still felt rough leaving them behind. I mean, I'm still worried now. I still go on the internet so I can have a quick chat with them, just to make sure they're right. But I can honestly say, I think if something did happen out there to any of them, I'd be trying to get back out there.
One squadron's got another 2 months to serve in Afghanistan. 21-year-old gunner Nathan Charles started his tour with such high hopes.
It is the best job in the world. I'd even recommend it to my own mother.
That's how confident I am about this job.
He and his mates trained hard to do a difficult job.
Lads, if you put your knees down, you owe me $1.
1, 2.
Now they've patrolled hostile territory in both 40-degree heat and freezing conditions, day and night, constantly on the lookout for an invisible enemy.
Basically, someone's signalling that they know what we're doing, basically.
Nathan Choules got to see the real Afghanistan.
Makes you think that your house at home isn't that really that bad. Look what these people live in. Horrendous. Does make you think.
And with 5 of his mates wounded at the hands of the Taliban, the reality of war has taken its toll.
Oh, I can't wait to go home. I really can't wait to go home. I'm actually counting down the days. Because mentally, it fucks you up. I feel like I've aged like fucking 20 years since I've been out here.
Choules' squadron will eventually be replaced by the Queen's Colour Squadron. But with no end to the war in sight, Kandahar Air Base will continue to grow. And NATO's presence will remain in Afghanistan.